My lawyer and I laid a trap for my adulterous alcoholic wife in my divorce. When I got divorced, my alcoholic wife of 18 years had started another affair, this time with her addictions counselor. My lawyer and I laid a trap for them. Just in case you don't know, intimate relations between a counselor and patient are very frowned upon by the regulatory bodies. And I was more than pissed after putting her through rehab, $25,000 which I didn't have to do, only to have her fall back into her old behavior. Shortly before the divorce was finalized, I filed a complaint with the state body licensing health professions. Knowing they were in some peril because of their unprofessional relationship, I had already gotten him fired from a major teaching hospital. She had backed off her exorbitant demands. I paid her a very modest settlement, kept the house, got custody of the 3 teenage kids, plus got child support. Her lawyer naturally included a clause in the divorce where I had to agree to not say anything negative about her lover and their relationship. But the lawyer ducked up and never asked if I had already filed charges and thus didn't require me to rescind them. Her lawyer had assumed I was just bad-mouthing them to neighbors and friends, and it never occurred to the lawyer that we were doing much more. When the Board of Health Professions responded to my complaint shortly after the divorce was finalized, I told them that it would take a subpoena to get me to testify. A subpoena trumps an agreement in a divorce settlement. They were happy to oblige. They stripped his license, and placed him on a register of sanctioned health professionals. He never worked again. They were broke in a handful of years and she divorced him when the money ran out. In the interim his motherhead was peacefully deleted, leaving a fair-sized estate, so it took longer than I expected. Oh, and the frosting on the cake was that his wife and I traded notes, notably hotel receipts from the time of their affair, that helped each of us in our respective divorces. Justice was served. Hi guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And the op lived happily ever after. Eventually. Shut up. You're happy and you know it. Now clap. Please clap. My neighbor is going through something similar. But she's banging the daughter's baseball coach and wants $100K a year for child support and alimony. Unfortunately, I think she'll get almost everything she wants. Said she wants everything. Since the day she got married, she's refused to work a day in her life even though he pays for her to keep her realtor's license. She even tried to get a cease and desist order on my and my wife from talking to him. Then she tried to get a restraining order on him for her following him onto my property and screaming at him. She claimed she fears for her life. Judge laughed at that one when I went to court with him as the witness to the incident. It's turning into a very messy divorce. Do you hook up with the counselor's wife? Nope. I saw her as a victim and I don't prey on the wounded. TBH, it mainly sounds like you helped your ex ruin another man's life. Can't claim credit for that. She saw him as her next meal ticket and rode it as far as she could. When the money was gone, so was she. My own view is that she spun him a story of the divorce settlement she would come away with to help seal the deal. I had a better lawyer than she did, even though he was less expensive than hers. I'm polite to her, for the benefit of the kids, but that's about it. Who keeps hotel receipts when they are having an affair? Ever heard of bank statements? This is actually a pretty horrible story. While the addictions counselor screwed up, at the end of the day he was dating someone who was already split from her husband. Hardly a crime that warranted destruction of his entire career. I dunno, maybe I'm just a different sort of butthole where ruining some dude's life for ducking my ex just isn't even on my radar. Just divorce the wife and move the hell on. Why was that necessary? In what way has it made your life better? Are your kids impressed with your life-ruining prowess? I'm all for sticking to assholes who deserve it, but this is kinda horrible. You don't duck your patients. Ever. He knew that. He still did it. He deserves every bit of the consequences. Cool, but you clearly aren't quite right in the head either. If this is too personal, don't feel the need to answer. You married someone you ended up hating, at least in part. How did the love of your marriage turn into such animosity? Were the two of you incompatible in lifestyle or personality? Was there a lack of open communication in your marriage? Did the issues come purely from your wife, or do you see places where you could have righted the ship? Again, if you don't want to, don't answer. I only ask for insight into my own past relationships and for the hope of better handling futures ones. Like a large percentage of marriages, in my opinion, alcohol played a part. She never outgrew her college drinking and it got worse and worse. When I stopped drinking with her, she found someone else to drink with and play with. Alcoholics are very unhappy people. Al-Anon saved my sanity and helped me raise my children. Of course it takes two people to make a bad marriage. I'll plead guilty. But the alcoholism leads to such a downward spiral of seeking self-validation that it destroys the person you once knew.